Hello and warm welcome. I'm Jessica and I'm so glad you're here. I'm a coach and I work with the body sensations to go within ourselves, to unravel what's stuck in our subconscious, like to see what is actually our belief system, and from this awareness be able to change our beliefs and thoughts, and from this point on create a different outer reality. So yeah, this is what I'm really passionate about, and I haven't been sharing on a while here on YouTube, and this is actually what I wanted to talk about. So I'm a new entrepreneur, and the last few weeks I've been feeling stuck, and I maybe at some points I even thought I'm lost and I don't know where I'm going, and I've really felt like in this cocoon I didn't have a connection to my vision, even though to my bigger vision, like usually I can sense it and feeling, but I just couldn't, and to be honest I still can't clearly. But that's why I feel like there's so many success stories out there, like people who have achieved it and talk about it, and that's so important, because that's a sign for us that it is possible. But I really wanted to show up here very vulnerable and talking about how it is when you're actually in this. Like you're having this vision, this belief, and sometimes you're doubting yourself so much, and can be so hard to stay and keep the faith that it will work out in the end. And then there will be moments, because you're rebirthing yourself so much faster. Or this is how it feels for me. That's why I feel like I've been in this cocoon still, but I've been going through this a couple of times already this year. And so there's always, again, this time of like this shift to a new identity where I feel like, ooh, who am I even? What is my vision? Who am I serving? Am I even good enough? Am I an imposter for even sharing this here? And yeah, so I just wanted to show up and do the brave thing by sharing about my current experience, because it isn't actually pleasant. But I have talked about it with also successful entrepreneurs by the means of they already have established firms now. They maybe have established more firms already, and they still say they are feeling like a failure sometimes, and they've been feeling it all over again when they start something new. So this is like something so common if you are about to step into your entrepreneurship journey, but also when you have been an entrepreneur and a leader for a long time. And I actually think it's a good thing to have this feeling, because you're questioning yourself and you're moving from integrity, and you're not just overriding this feeling, but you're always coming back to yourself. But then it's about not letting this feeling stop you, but actually moving with this awareness to have it as a new point for growth. It's a new awareness you're having through this. And I'm actually curious if it will ever stop. Based on my conversation, it doesn't really feel like it, but maybe it gets less and less. It's also like the more you start working with yourself and your uncomfortable feelings. In the beginning, it feels like this huge mountain which you can't climb, and because it feels so scary. But then the more you get used to working with this uncomfortable feeling, which failure is as well, the more you get used to it. But there will maybe always be new levels of what uncomfortable means to one when you are committed to your personal growth and deep transformational work, because there's a huge difference between deep transformational work and surface level change. So yeah, coming back to, I really just wanted to share this, as I feel like it's important to share when you're in it. And I really have the belief and faith in it. So when I will be successful, I already want you to know how it feels when you're in it. And I also wanted to have it for me as a reminder. And I just called myself and I said, when I'm successful, but I am already successful. Just means like more this vision I'm having and moving more towards this. And like moving through this stuckness by sharing what's like on my mind and heart. Really for you to be able to relate, because I believe it's so important to have this kind of knowledge exchange when you're in the midst of these transformations, of these identity shifts in your entrepreneurship journey, but also general in life. There will always be, again, moments where there will be stuckness or emptiness, because the emptiness is there because of the identity you have been before. So there's also grief involved, and it's so complex. It's not just one solution or the other. And then reading about like, oh, you need this 6 habit to succeed as an entrepreneur, to be successful. I don't believe in this, because this is like service level. You're like overriding the deeper layer what is within you. And if you're someone who wants to create big impact in the world, you know that your business is an extension of yourself. So you always have to start with yourself by going within over and over again in order to create this big vision on the outside. So yeah, I would love to hear from you in the comments, how you experience these kind of transformation and big shifts within your business, but also within yourself, and if this was in any way helpful. And yeah, I hope you stay with me to see how my journey goes. I'm also very curious how it will go, because at the moment it really feels like kind of foggy, but I'm really trying to follow these little breadcrumbs, like these little leads. And by this, I mean also with my intuition and being open and curious to what like life brings me, and not being focused on like, this is how it needs to look like. Yes, I have my bigger vision, even though I don't know the next immediate steps currently. I have a sense of it, but I'm really not sure. So yeah, I'm really curious to follow these leads and see where it leads me. And this I do like with trying to do with faith and trust, and building this faith and trust in myself more and more, because this wasn't definitely the belief system I grew up with. So this is a new belief system I'm embodying day by day with daily practices, but also by doing things that actually scare me, by trying to follow these leads or by actually following them. And this reminds me of a story I read the last few days. It was about, I always want to say Napoleon, but it's not Napoleon. It's about Columbus, when he went off his exploration, discovery for the great new world. Like, everyone believed the world was flat, and he just went off, didn't know where he was going. He could have fallen off the world literally and died, but no, he kept on going and sailing. And then there was only, I can only imagine what he was thinking. Probably there are books about it. I haven't read that, but he was in this water. So you imagine there must have been doubt. There probably have been points he was like, oh, I'm going to give up. But no, he continued. And then even though he didn't see any land yet, he started to see twigs and birds. So signs of land. And he continued, even though he still didn't see the land. He trusted so much. So there were the birds and twigs showing him that there will be land. So maybe this is a good question for you to reflect on. Which are the twigs and birds in my life, which I can build my faith on and trust and keep on going and doing the work I'm supposed to be doing here with integrity and devotion, but also knowing that it's okay if you doubt yourself from time to time, but then it's also to move forward and not waiting for this point where you're feeling okay again. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. And again, let me know in the comments how you found this, if there's something else you would love to hear about. Yeah, I can't wait to connect with you and follow if you liked what you hear and would love to hear about my continued journey following the twigs and birds.